Hi, I'm George with NS345. Welcome back. I cleaned up the tracks a little bit using a manual approach, and as you can see here are all my tracks. So I just took out some of the front of the tracks here and some of the back there. I did leave some of the crowd noise towards the end on the overhead left and right. I removed it for the most part from the rest of the tracks. I cleaned up the vocal manually, so you can see that there. That was done while you were away. Now I want to get to mixing as soon as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do today is I'm going to focus on aligning the drums, and I'll start mixing through, see how far I get. Here we go, auto align. And I'm just going to drop that on the drums there. And it dropped it on all of the drums. That's a very nice feature that I love in Studio One. I'm going to send the snare on channel 1. I'm going to receive on overhead on channel 1. Then I'm going to send on channel 2 to the overhead right. I'm going to receive on channel 2. And I'm going to receive the kick, the snare sound on the kick on channel 1. And I'm going to do that because they only use 4 microphones, so I think the snare and the kick are probably the closest mics together. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solo the snare and the overhead left. I'm going to pop open the overhead left here, and I'm going to hit play and detect. You can see that as I engage the phase switch, when I reverse it, the snare kind of dies out. But when I leave it unengaged or disengaged, the snare is popping through. Okay, that's good. Moving on to overhead. I'm gonna solo the overhead left and right. Out of phase. Okay, so here's the kick now. Out of phase, in phase, sounds good there. Let me just double check the snare and overhead again. I didn't check the noise floor. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, that's good. So if we listen to the drums, okay, so there's the auto align plugin turned off. Engaged. Okay, I'm hoping that you can tell the difference. I know I can. So I'm going to leave that plug in there, and I'm going to move on, see what else I can do here. Okay, so that's good for the drums. Now I'm going to close my browser. I'm going to go to my stems now, and I'm going to use the mix effects. I'm going to use the console shaper. Let me see if I can do all of them, if I select all of them. No, I don't know how to do that. So I'm just going to raise this up a little bit. Now unmute the drum. I don't want any other noise. So the console shaper is giving it a bit of energy. Now that's not gain, that's energy, actual energy. Okay, let's try the bass. Guess I would need to unsolo the drums, huh? And unsolo the bass as well. Okay, that's good. That sounds all right. Let me remove that. Let's bring in the console shaper for the guitars. And this is just so that I can mix into this summing type setup. So I'm just gonna do it about the same there. So just a little bit of energy, and let's bring in the vocal. It's hard to hear, so I'm just gonna leave it here, there, take out the noise. That's pretty good there. Okay, so it is giving it a bit of energy, and I like that. Let's go to the mix bus real quick, and I'm gonna throw in, do I want it? See, I don't understand the routing. Let's see, bus, into the mix bus. That's all right. I'm not gonna put it on the mix bus because it's being fed from here. So I'm just gonna use a bit of compression here on the mix bus, and I'm gonna use the Studio One compressor. I think it's this one. Yeah, there you go. I'm just gonna do like a 2-to-1 gain reduction. Now, my RMS right now is about -18, so if I set my compressor to about -18, it should barely be touching it. And I'm gonna set up the auto gain makeup. I love this function because I don't have to worry about gain staging anymore. Or actually, I don't have to worry about adding gain that I didn't want to add. I gotta get used to the camera being here, sorry. Set the compressor to about 30 like I normally do, and the release real fast. And that's too much. Okay, just enough compression to add a little bit of energy to the mix. I've got the auto gain makeup set up. Now, I do see that this compressor has a filter type deal here. So I'm gonna actually bring this up so it doesn't compress below, what is it, below, let's go below 100. Because that's where a lot of the energy comes from in mixes, that low end, and it just starts building up. So I think 100 is good. Nice. I love that feature. This is a really nice compressor. So let's go now. Let's look at the drums and let's start working. Actually, let's start working with the vocal and let's see if we can get it sounding good. And this is the vocal bus. All right, I'm going to bring in an EQ. Here is the high pass filter or the low cut.
Carregada que só dispara poesia, minha fiel.
I don't mind it being there.
Tenho uma arma carregada que só dispara poesia, minha fiel aliada no combate.
I'm taking off the spectrum view because I don't want to have to depend on that to make my decisions on EQ. It's a very nice feature, don't get me wrong, but I'm just not used to it. And already I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh, I need to cut there, so I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to remove it for now. Oh, cool. Just trying to figure out how to change the cue.
Minha fiel aliada no combate do dia a dia. Basta, besta, e tu, homem ganância, milionário da miséria, doutor da ignorância, demente da inteligência, a garrafa incendiária. Tenho uma arma carregada, só dispara poesia, minha fiel aliada no combate do dia a dia.
Okay, there. The high frequency, okay. So this is the one I want, okay.
Tenho uma arma carregada, só dispara poesia, minha fiel aliada no combate do dia a dia. Tenho uma arma carregada, só dispara. Tenho uma arma carregada, só dispara poesia, minha fiel aliada no combate do dia a dia. Tenho uma arma carregada, só dispara poesia, minha fiel aliada no combate do dia a dia. Tenho uma arma carregada, só dispara.
Okay, I think that's good for now. Let's add a compressor. And can you do it from here? No, you can't. So let's go to compressor.
Tenho uma arma carregada, tenho uma arma carregada, só dispara. Tenho uma arma carregada, só dispara poesia, minha fiel aliada no combate do dia a dia.
Now I'm using the compressor for tone because the vocal is, while it is dynamic, it's not crazy dynamic. It's at a very nice level. I gotta say, the guy that recorded this song did a really good job for a live recording. Not a lot of difference there. Let's see if I could turn it all off here. Oh yeah, cool. Very subtle. Now, if you listen to the vocal, there is a lot of bleed on there, right? You hear the drums and you hear other stuff like that. I don't want to gate the vocal, and because I don't want to risk making it not sound natural. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. I'm not going to do any FX processing just now. I'm going to come back to that. Okay, so I'm going to go to the drums now. Notice I haven't added any gain. I added 2 plugins. So moving along, and I'm just going to go here to, I'm going to go to the drums. Now I'm going to look for a compressor again, or actually EQ, but I need to get used to this vendor. How do I do this? There we go. That is cool, man. It added it on all the tracks. I love that. But I don't need a compressor. I needed an EQ. Pro Q. Okay, nice. Now I could add the compressor. Well, I'll add it afterwards. No, add it now. Here it is. I'll add it below the EQ. I'm just going to turn those off. I'm going to start with the kick. Man, I like the spectrum, but it just worries me. I'm not used to it. Okay, I'm just going to cut out a little bit there. Okay, a little compression. Oh, this is so nice. I love this compressor. I love the auto gain function, I'm telling you. It is adding a touch of gain. So I'm just gonna bring it what's on auto. So I'm just gonna bring down the fader. Sounds really nice. I like that so far. Let's go to the snare. Okay, so what I did right there is I just added some low mids right there just to make it sound a little fatter. I'm gonna give it a little brightness here just for the attack. So the problem I have right now is there is a lot of bleed on the snare and I don't want that. All right, let's see, maybe a little gate. Does Studio One have a gate? Yep. Gate, yep, there it is. And I'm gonna put that up front there. Okay, so I'm not losing any of the attack. It's got the look ahead. Okay, just a touch is doing it for me. I want to hold that bottom end, the low mid, a little bit longer. That sounds good there. No side chain, no low cut. I'm not going to mess with that. And let's go to the compressor now. Now remember, there is a trigger that I'm going to bring in a little later. Okay, now it's starting to crack. Still keeping my eye on my VU meter. Okay, that's sounding good to me. I don't know if it is to you. Okay, so the overheads, I bust them to an overhead bus. So I'm going to bring in the EQ into this one here. And actually, I'm going to remove it from these here. Also remove the compressor. Okay, let's listen to the overhead. Now I'm going to come back a little later and do some parallel compression. So all I want from the overheads are the crashes. So I'm going to use those. Also going to keep the auto gain makeup. I might have to enlist the help of my tape machine, but I'll come back to that. Okay, let's see what that did. Sounds a little better, and I'll come back to it again. Let me just let you hear it engaged. Okay, bypassed. Okay, let's get to the bass real quick. Let's throw in an EQ there. Where's the bass? There you go. And the compressor as well, but you gotta get out the way, buddy. Turn off the compressor for now. Let's bring up the EQ and set it to default. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna save this space for the kick here, so I'm gonna push up the low cut filter or the high pass filter. So don't get mad at me, that's okay. See what it sounds like with the drums. That sounds good to me. Now in metal, I think you have to be careful because you can clean up the low end too much to where it doesn't have enough low end and it sounds kind of boxy. So I'm gonna have to push back the high pass filter a little bit to the left. I want there to be good separation between the kick drum and the bass. Sounding good for now. Just gonna do. All right, let's work on the guitars. Let's clean them up a little bit. Let's work on this one. Whoops, and you know what? Let me go back to the bass here and work on some compression. Look at that gain staging, so nice. It doesn't start working until about 18. Look at that. Nice, 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 nice. I love it. Now, am I using the right compressor here? What is this stereo link? Connect link channels. Da, 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 da. I don't know, but it sounds good. Whatever. I want a fast attack on the bass. just because the 16th notes that are playing with the kick, the ta 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 ta, I want it to be clear. I don't want like one long note. I want it to, if you know what I mean. Okay. But I will try the filter. I don't want it to compress below 116 there, 118. Sounds a lot smoother, so I'm gonna leave it there. Why isn't this auto deal working? Okay, that's good. Sounds okay for now. I'll come back to it. Okay, the guitars. I don't like it that it opens. I just want to throw it on there. Don't open. Is there a way to fix that? Okay, I'm gonna say default. And I'm also gonna do that on the other one. Guess I could have just copied it over. Still learning, still learning. Okay, so that's just the left guitar there. Man, did I tell you how much I love this auto gain feature? Okay, so the ride is coming out very strong in one of these. Okay, so basically what I did on the guitars is I did what Graham Cochran calls the complementary EQ, I believe. So I took some out here at, what is that, 2.5, and I added here at 2.3. Did the same thing here. I boosted here about 1.1 dB at 683. I didn't take anything out here. I did bring on both of them, I did move the high pass filter all the way to about the low cut all the way to about 197 and 191. Did a little cut here on the high cut with a 6 dB octave at about 11.5, and I took it all out here because the ride was really loud here, so I took that out, and that's okay. I'm gonna come back, and right now I just want to clear up the mix a little bit and then come back and tweak it and make it sound a little bit prettier. Maybe my low end is suffering just now. Yeah, I'll fix that, no worries. So I got the EQ on the guitar. Now I'm just gonna throw a compressor here. So I'm putting a compressor on the bus here. Okay, that's good. Let's see here. What am I doing? Still feel it has too much low end. I'll come back to that. Let me just recolor my VCAs because not happy with those colors just now. Okay, yeah, much better. All right, so the vocal, let's work on the vocal here. Actually, all right, I wish there was a way to A-B this. I don't have the ability to turn off all of the plugins just now. So I just have to do it one by one, and so you can hear how it sounds. That's really, really sucks. Plugins engaged. Just remember that. I guess I could print a mix and do it that way. This is a lot of drama. Please, PreSonus, fix this. Okay, that's not a true A-B. I cannot believe that I can't do this. This is such a simple thing that PreSonus should have done, and I'm not criticizing. This is a great DAW. It's just frustrating right now that I don't have the ability to bypass all of the plugins at once. So let me just do a quick bounce. Start to end, and I'm just gonna call it mix down. No plugins. Import to track. Okay, great. So here is, now I'm going to turn all of my plugins back on. Let me mute this. Okay, here we go. So let me just throw a VU meter here. And let's just say this is the, actually I'm going to use the clan helm on this one, sorry. So you could see, the gain is not tricking my ears into thinking there is a bit of a difference. So the dark VU meter here is for the entire mix, and just move this here. The brighter VU meter here is just for the reference. The bright VU meter here is gonna show the level of the mix down that I did without any plugins. So let's hear the mix.
Da inteligência, a garrafa incendiária vai rebentar na sua cara. Basta besta, basta besta, basta besta.
Okay, so the problem right now is that the cymbals are too bright, but I can fix that really quick. And I'm only doing that with a little bit of volume on the fader.
Milenário da miséria, ator da ignorância, demente da inteligência, a garrafa incendiária vai rebentar na tua cara. Basta pista.
Just with EQ and compression, I'm already starting to tell a difference. It may not be a good difference, but I'm happy with it because I'm starting to clean up some of that background noise, some of the rumble, some of the nasty frequencies. Now I'm gonna go back and polish the mix a little bit at a time. Now, I'm not sure that the mix effects are really doing much. Let's just check that out. But here, at the very least, one thing that you are getting out of this video is that you can see how I'm clearly managing my gain staging. The mix output level, it's hovering around 0 VU. So that's great. I think it's sounding good. So let me come back and do another video. Hopefully, maybe I could even finish it up on the next video. I doubt it though, because I'm already thinking about things that I'm going to be doing to this mix. And I may have to use some third-party plugins for what I'm looking for.
Basta.
Just a few balance issues there, and I'll fix that. All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Speak to you soon.